guys and ghouls. Today I'm gonna be doing the scariest things tag. I was searching online for some different tags to do for this Vlogoween season. I know in the past I've done the paranormal tag and I did like another spooky tag, but this one I came across is called the scariest things tag. I figured this one would be kind of cool because I've never actually done this tag, and also I haven't really answered these questions. Some of them I have, but like the majority of them I haven't. So I have my laptop right here, so let's go through these questions. Number 1, scariest real life experience. So by far the scariest real life experience I've had was getting into a car accident in my senior year of high school. I actually made a whole like story time video on it, which by the way got flagged, and now I can't have ads on it even though there's nothing, like there's no footage, it's not gory, it's just me talking, I don't know, whatever. Either way, I made a video about it, I'll have it linked here, but yeah, in my senior year of high school I got into a really bad car accident. And I definitely thought I was gonna die, so if you want to hear more about that, I'll have the link somewhere, description, pop up here, because it's a very long story. Number 2, scariest paranormal experience. I actually made a couple videos on this, and I'm gonna link my previous paranormal videos anyway, but I'll go ahead and tell you guys about this one because it can be summed up really quick. The scariest paranormal experience I had was when I was in college and I was driving home. I can't remember that night if I had worked or if I was coming from like a bar. I think I was coming from hanging out with friends at a bar. So it was relatively late at night, and the back road to where I grew up, the house that I grew up in, has streetlights, but that's it. It's a very dimly lit area because it's off the beaten path, so you're kind of taking essentially like an old road that's like half dirt road, half real road, and so there are light posts, but like not very close to the street, so most of the illuminating at night is happening from your car. I'm driving along and I notice ahead of me there's something in the road based off of my headlights, and then that's when I realized the streetlights are not on. Like none of the streetlights were on. I was driving in pitch black down the road and my headlights were the only thing doing the illuminating. And ahead of me I saw a figure in the street, and I started to get concerned because where I lived there were also farms, so there were cows and horses and bigger type animals, and so I started to slow down because whatever it was I didn't want to hit it. So as I'm slowing down my car and still driving forward, the figure in the street moves off to the side of the road, and oh god, every time I talk about this story it gives me chills. So I finally slow down to like a crawl, and I just remember my headlights illuminating everything but the figure. So all I could see was like a shadow-ish thing, which doesn't make any sense in my head because whatever it was should have been illuminated by my car lights, and it wasn't. It was just a shadowy figure. I'm rolling past it, and I remember it's so scary. I leaned down because I drove a Honda Civic at the time, so I leaned down and I'm looking out the window at the figure, and at the same time of me leaning down and looking out the window, it leaned down and looked in my window. And the only thing that I remember is that it had eyes that were glowing. And I was overcome with like this sense of urgency to like get out of the area. It was kind of like a fight or flight. Like I needed to leave. I felt like I was in danger. I felt like my life was threatened and I needed to leave. So without even hesitating, I floored it. And even scarier, I was probably like less than a quarter of a mile from my house. So I floored it. I arrived to my street, I made a left turn, and I pulled down into my driveway, and getting out of my car and getting to my front door and fumbling with my keys was by far the most scared I've ever been. My heart was going a million miles a minute. I was doing everything that I possibly could to get inside of my house. Finally I was able to get my front door open, and I shut it and I locked it and I went into my bedroom. And of course my windows, the blinds of my windows were open. So that freaked me out worse because, again, like I said, on the street that I lived on there was like a horse stable and stuff, and it was a lot of open land and houses that were like not far apart, but like far enough that like there was space. And so I quickly and like tried to like keep my eyes shut. Like I closed my blinds because I was paranoid that it was going to be right there in my window waiting to look at me. I don't know what it is to this day. I hope I hope that it was some sort of horse or cow that had gotten out. However, the fact that I couldn't make out what it was, and I had this weird and scary feeling that it wasn't what I thought it was. Like, it almost seemed like part human, part alien. I don't know. I still don't know. I still don't know what it was. It freaks me out. I get chills whenever I talk about it. You know when you just have something that you talk about and it makes you feel so uneasy inside? Like, talking about it makes me feel uneasy to this day. Like, whatever it was is secretly watching me. Oh my god, I'm gonna freak myself out. I can't. Anyway, that was worst paranormal experience ever. Number 3, have you ever known anyone convicted of a violent crime? I have not known anyone to be convicted of a violent crime. I have, however, known people who have been convicted of crimes, just not, well, actually, I don't know if this counts, but I knew someone who hit someone with their car, not on purpose, and that person died. I don't know, but it's violent, but like it wasn't on purpose. I don't know. That's a weird question. I'm gonna say no. That's a weird question. Number 4, are you afraid of the dark? Why or why not? I am afraid of the dark. A lot of it has to do with the fact that that crazy paranormal experience happened to me. Before that, I was afraid of the dark, but not as extreme as I am now. Now I am really afraid of the dark. I don't like being in the dark. I don't like the dark because it makes me feel, I guess the word is congested, but I'm not sure if that's the word I'm really looking for. I just feel like the dark goes on forever, but it also feels so tight and restricting. And so to have that feeling where it could be an open void, but at the same time such a constricting, closed in feeling, I don't know, it's like those two opposites like contradict themselves, and then it makes me feel uneasy. So I'm afraid of the dark. That's one of the reasons why I don't like living in this apartment, because our apartment that we have right now is so dark. There's no windows. We have no outside sources of light. We have 2 windows in our whole apartment, 1 sliding glass door, and then there's trees surrounding our windows, so we get no light in this apartment, and it just makes me feel unhappy. So yes, I'm afraid of the dark. I don't like it. I don't like it. Number 5, does your hometown have any scary stories or legends? So by hometown, I think of like where I was born, and I was born in Rancho Cordova. And as far as it stands, I don't know if there are any legends or scary stories associated with Rancho Cordova. That's also a part of Sacramento, and I've never heard any. I'm sure there are some, but I've never heard of any legends or ghost stories in relation to Sacramento. It is the capital of California though, so I'm sure that there are some things, but I don't know of any. Number 6, what is your favorite urban legend? I don't really have a favorite urban legend. Urban legends freak me out. I guess, I don't know if this counts as an urban legend, but there's a creepypasta that exists, and it was like a website where it was like a fake blog that like a guy was updating about going into like this cave, and like he thought something was in the cave, and so he kept being drawn back to it, and he would go home and have this sense of urgency, like I have to get back to the cave, I have to find out what's in the cave. And it's written in a blog perspective, and it literally ends at like the worst part. I don't want to ruin it for you. I will find the link and I will put it down below. It is worth the read. It's very scary. The ending makes it even scarier because it leaves it very open-ended. So check it out if you want. I'm getting chills thinking about it. It's a really good story. All right, and the final question, number 7, what is your scariest nightmare? I mean, I have a lot of bad dreams, but if I'm being quite honest with you, none of them really like stand out that much. Like I'll always wake up and remember them like vividly, and then they kind of just go away and I don't think about them, and then I'll re-dream them, or I'll rehave them as a nightmare, like they'll occur again, and it's like it comes back, like that familiarity of like knowing this dream or this nightmare comes back. So as far as it stands, I guess just any reoccurring nightmare that I have when it comes back and it's all too familiar. I remember one specific dream that it's not really like, it doesn't scare me thinking about it, and this one only happened once. And like I said, with my reoccurring nightmares, they usually go away and I forget about them until they happen again. But there was one specific nightmare that only ever happened once, and I dreamed that I was in an old neighborhood that I grew up in, like a townhome neighborhood, and I was being chased by a guy who had a blowtorch, and I remember running into a house that wasn't mine and trying to shut the door and not being able to shut it quick enough, and the guy stuck the blowtorch into my stomach and turned it on. And I remember in the dream just looking down and like feeling the hot, like the pain and the heat from the blowtorch in my stomach and knowing that I was dying. And when I woke up, I had like really bad stomach pain, and my stomach felt hot to the touch, and still, like, it confuses me to this day. Like, I'm not afraid of it. It's never occurred again. It was like a one-off dream, but like that still to this day kind of just like feels eerie to me, because it was such like a realistic thing to happen in my dream. Like, it was vivid. I can still remember like colors and emotions and experiences, and then to wake up and see that, it's just very strange. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys tomorrow with another Vlogoween video. Bye everyone. Thank you.